All right, everybody. Welcome to another segment of the Gambling Lab brought to you by Bogey Proof. We got myself, TJ, Brian, and Paul. It's US Open week, and we are ready to talk DFS lineups and, give everybody some free money. It's just what we do. We
It is
pick the
what we
right
do.
players. We find the ones that are mispriced, we expose them, and we take advantage. That's all we do.
Yeah.
That's all we do.
So, without further ado, U.S. Open week at Torrey Pines coming up. Let's talk DFS. Let's start getting through these lineups. Let's find the outliers. Let's expose them. Prev, what do
Yeah.
you got for us this week?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, if you listen to our boy Paul, then you'd be having a nice weekend. If you had Patrick Cantley, like we touched on. But U.S. Open, we touched on in the preview a little bit earlier. Putting, I think, is going to be a massive factor. And, I think I mentioned this name every single week, but we're going to start off with Patty Reed. Outstanding. How do we say it again? Poanua? Help me out.
Poana.
Poana. All right. I won't make that mistake again. Fantastic Poana putter. Just right where I wanted to be pricing wise as well. Obviously outstanding player in general. But if you notice anyone who's been doing kind of golf DFS for a while, generally you can get some really, really good prices on guys because of just like how obviously the field is massive. So generally you'll get a lot of good prices. So I'm looking at guys, my lineup that I've made already, definitely sprinkling in Shoffley, Berger as always, West Coast guy, Louis always, Shane Lowry, Kokrak, a couple of the guys to name so far. But I'm looking for good putters on the surface, guys who can keep it in the fairway. I know TJ mentioned that rough already, like we had talked about. It's gonna be brutal. So I want guys who can hit it straight. The weather looks pretty good. But yeah, I mean, you need good proximity to the greens, a lot of birdie opportunities, and so Patty Reed is my start.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he won here in what was it, September? When I don't know what the fall series or not the fall series started, the West Coast Swing. So he likes the golf course. This is where his little controversy happened and all that shit too. But we don't need to get into that. And it's his game, speaks
I like
for
him even more actually now because I forgot about that. I like him even more.
So he's gonna be coming out ready to go. And he actually, last year at Winged Foot, until he shot 40 on the back nine Saturday, he was beating Bryson by quite a bit. So he kind of, shot a quick 4 or 5 over and fell back and probably finished like 8th or something like that. And was kind of out of it because Bryson ran away with it on Sunday. But he was, I think, 36-hole leader, honestly, at Winged Foot. So
yeah, at the hardest course in the country. So
exactly,
yeah.
He's got the mental. He's got the mental approach, fortitude, whatever you want to call it, and the game, especially short game, like we've talked about so many times. Like, he's going to be there. He's if he's got his game going at all, and he's going to be a gritty guy down the stretch. He's not going to give shit away. So he's a good guy, and he likes the golf course. So
hits it in the fairway and is a great putter. I mean, what else? I feel like that's just the perfect Oreo cookie for this course,
Yeah, I mean, it goes well. I mean, if you look at like the past winners here, right? Like a guy like John Rahm won his first ever PGA Tour event, or not PGA Tour event, but his first PGA Tour win was here, and he's got like every year he's playing, he's been in the top 5. Like a guy that bombs it, nice high cuts, hits the ball high, can get it out of rough, comes in with that steep angle of approach, right? What they talk about with Bryson, why he was so good at Winged Foot last year. Hits the ball high, hits it hard, hits it far, and he putts really well. It's just it's you got guys like that. You got Jason Day who's won here multiple times. When he was at the peak of his game, nobody hit it higher, nobody hit it further, right? Like putts the shit out of the ball when he was healthy. He won here 2 or 3 times when it was the Farmers, not the U.S. Open, obviously, but Farmers, and then Tiger's won here 1,000,000 times. So and when Tiger was at the highest of his powers, hit it high, hit it further than everybody, and putted the shit out of the ball. It's stuff like that, obviously those few guys I just mentioned were all number 1 in the world at one point or another. So they're just really, really good
are important.
Yeah. But they're really, really good golfers. But those are like very key attributes that stick out in their games that you find guys with the hot hand right now that are playing that similar style. And I feel like that's what you got to go with. So like looking through, going through the DFS numbers here, like a guy like Xander, he may not hit it all that high, but he putts it well. He always plays good in majors, and it's a kind of a home game for him. I think he grew up like 20 minutes from Torrey. So home game models going off. Shout out, no laying up. You got a guy like Rom, obviously he's top guy on DFS, but like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him this week. He's like being the top guy. I hate picking the top guy in DFS. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but like
I love him. I just
Yeah.
everything makes sense for him this week, but it's like I wish he was the second highest guy on DFS. Then I'd pick him automatically.
right.
You know, like
You're putting all your eggs in one basket, I guess, with one guy. I mean, I have a lineup where you put him in there, and I mean, you kind of have to go in the $7,000, $6,000 range. You got to live down there, and you got to be confident that you've got a guy down there that's going to perform and make the cut. But honestly, with John Rahm, what went on the last 10, 11 days, whatever it's been, like he was asymptomatic. So I don't think he really got all the symptoms of it. He's out of quarantine. He's back. He just was so hot. 17 under through 3. I don't want people to be shy of not picking him this week. That's all I'm saying is like 11-2, highest one.
I agree.
Don't care. He played his ass off. He is ready to go. I mean,
if anything, he's probably a little more
motivated. Yeah.
We talk about this.
Motivated athletes.
If you're gonna make multiple DFS lineups and not be a hero and not put him in one, like I understand if you're gonna make 5 and you want him in 1 out of 5, that's totally fine, right? That's probably what I'm gonna do realistically. But you need to have a sprinkle, right? And when we touch on the gambling segment, a little later in the road here, Rom should be a part of it. Like he should be. I mean, if like. There is really no situation that I could possibly think of where he shits the bed this week. Like I really don't. I don't even see how that would be possible, right? Like TJ said, he's not sick. He's playing great golf and he loves this course. What else could it be?
He's a top 3 golfer in this world, potentially number 1, and you're not going to take 10 days off and not be good. Like, and he plays well at this course. History has repeated itself consistently with this guy. Do not be shy about picking John Rahm. I think it's a great play. Craft a lineup. Get some of those low guys in there to help him out. But, don't be shy.
Plenty of value. You can squeeze him in. There's plenty of value. We'll touch on value. Murph, who you like, baby?
Go ahead, look.
I don't know. The U.S. Opens, I kind of like every major. It's so tough trying to pick the top guys because there's just not a lot of value in top guys. But I guess 3 guys that sticking out to me going off the bat for daily fantasy is Schauffele, Big T, Finau, and Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler. Those 3 are just sticking out to me. Scheffler was played well last week. I feel like Tony Finau. I mean, I forget how did he finish in the PGA, but he seems to always rise to the occasion.
He backdoored the top 10.
He backdoored top 10.
Not rise to the occasion in majors since he's never won one, but he always seems to play well in majors.
He never conquers, but he never shits himself.
Yeah, like he's always just there linking around doing big Tony stuff,
Big linger.
Yeah. Then other guys
top 10 in the last 2 majors. So
other guys that stick out to me, which is against the whole U.S. Open. You got to bomb it, hit it far. Is just Oosthuizen and Charlie Hoffman. Those 2 guys.
Talk to me, Paul.
I like both of them this week. Hoffman has played this course, I think, one of the most times ever of any. He's always in the Farmers Insurance, so he knows this place very well, all the ins and outs, all the little intricacies. I know that changes when it's U.S. Open, and I'm sure there's some minor things that they do to the course to make it different, but like him and I guess another guy, I guess Leishman hits it far, but I like Leishman, where he's just steady. He's a grinder, makes pars, and I find myself saying it a lot recently, but if you make 72 pars, there's a good chance you win the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
And Leishman, I feel like, is one of them.
He's won here before, too. He's won the grinder. He's won second in other years. He loves the plays. I think it's more like I'm going down this list of guys that have success there and win. It's a lot of faders at the ball. I don't know how much value to put in that because I feel like a lot of guys hit fades now and kind of do whatever you want out there. And, I'm sure there's outliers to that, too. But a guy like Rahm, Leash, Tiger, all those guys, especially off the tee, were predominantly hitting fades. Sorry, they're always move it left to right. Jason Day, I don't really recall if I feel like he just hit it straight in the air and it went wherever it went.
He was big high draw. I feel like if anything.
I think he was too. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but like Leash and Rom are like exclusive cut guys, and they've been in the mix. They've been probably the best trend if you look just like the last 5 years at this golf course alone. They've probably got the best cumulative results. I'd be pretty confident in saying that between the two of those two.
Yeah.
So there might be something there. I don't know. I mean, it might be a little nugget there. I mean, guy like DJ always fades it. Looked pretty decent last week. Wasn't totally sharp, but he hasn't played in a while, I feel like. At least halfway decent. He took some time off after PGA, and
he's the only guy that doesn't matter. He just shows up, and if he's
exactly.
in the mood, he'll win.
Yeah, it's nice to see a pulse before the major after whatever the hell the PGA was.
I think he's almost getting into that like Tiger schedule that he used to have, and just picking and choosing certain events, spending a lot of time off the course because he has 2-3 young kids now. You can always talking to him like that's his like one thing is Paulina and the kids like are his most important thing now. Like he doesn't even care about the game of golf, but it's I think his mindset changing, and he's just trying to peak for every tournament that he plays in.
Yep.
He's only played in 13 tournaments this year. Him and Brooks are 13. I don't see Webb Simpson's 13.
Where they used to be younger than their DJ, and I'm trying to like late 2000s, whatever. He was playing in 20, 30 events a year. Was playing every single week. I mean, now he's earned. I don't know what's his on-course earnings. Anyone off the top of their head? Like 50 mil, probably.
A lot more than us combined.
Like, he just doesn't care.
He makes more in 3 days than us combined. So
but makes more for like waking out of bed and sending a tweet.
All right, 71 million. He's fourth highest on PGA Tour career earnings. 71 mil. Okay.
Yep. Tiger, Rory, and Phil.
No, it's Tiger, Phil, VJ. I bet.
Furyk.
Okay.
Furyk.
Ooh.
Wow.
Furyk.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, he got a FedEx Cup in there. That's why.
Huge beast.
Cash that 10 mil quick.
That helped me jump.
To touch on those big guys, I mean, I think it's one of those things where, like, I think a U.S. Open too. I think you should be opposed to, let's say, like you're going to put $100 into DraftKings or whatever you use. I think you should spread it out and make a lot of lineups and like, please have DJ in a team, have Brooks, have John Rahm too, have like these guys are going to perform like. If you think you're gonna go 0 for 3 on like DJ Rahm, but one of them will do well. Like, will one of them win? Maybe not. But it's a guaranteed top 10 out of one of those three. There's no question about it. So pick the guys who show up. That is a part of it, right? I mean, we talk about the mental battle all the time. That is a part of it, right? Like Tony, we talk about Tony a lot on this show too. Like Tony's got a weird way of just showing up for the majors. Yeah, he doesn't win them, sure. But, I mean, we talk about how hard is it to come in top 10 on the Masters or, whatever it may be. He does it consistently, and he has been for years. So just like – and he literally hits it further than pretty much everyone. So it's like besides, obviously, meat slab. But, like, aside from that, like, don't, keep it simple this week. Try to find some guys, try to find some value and, to go right into value. I think we should jump into value. TJ, you got any value for us this week or what?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually going off of guys who are trending pretty well. I use that every single week, but Ian Poulter sticks out. Guys played very good. 7,000 too for as good as he's done. I really like that. We talked before this off air, but Shane Lowry, another guy that's done very, very well. He played extremely well at the Memorial. He even fucking bladed a ball over the green into the water and still was top 10, I think. Plays it. He's been playing very well, as good as I'm out there, and he's 7,600. You talk about, like, getting that good price for how well they're doing or how many cuts they've made. Those are two guys right there, 7,000 and 7,600. And then my last guy for value, Stuart Sink. I mean, 7,200. The guy has played well on some tough courses this year. We don't think to pick him, but he's put a name for himself and has done well. He's kind of like rejuvenated since he's got old. He's got his kid on the bag. Don't be surprised. He makes the cut, helps your lineup cash. I don't know if he's going to be necessarily up at the top, but I definitely like 7,200 and trying to get him to make the cut and to have a chance to sweat it out on Sunday.
Another guy I love at that number, just because I was looking as you're saying that, This guy's gotten a couple of shout outs via the multiple shows here at Bogey Proof, but Christian Bezadenhout, 7,200. 12 out of 12 cuts. 12 out of 12 cuts this year. Top 40. He hasn't top 40 his last 4 starts, including the PGA. He's again at 7,200. I'm not saying this guy's gonna be in the top 10 at this week, but a low dollar, get him to make a cut for you and see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, Paulie, what do you got for a low play of the week or value play?
I love, like, one thing that's beautiful with the U.S. Open is, what is there, 165, 144 players in the field. It's massive. You have all the random local qualifyings and the regional qualifying, so you get a bunch of random guys in this tournament. One name that's sticking out to me is Taylor Pendrith.
I knew it was going to be somebody we never heard of.
Never heard of him? Yeah, no, you haven't.
All right, tell the folks out there why.
So guess what? Now I just put him in.
He's this Canadian. He's playing on the Corn Ferry Tour this year. He's made a shit ton of cuts. I really don't know anything else about him, but I just saw the name and I was like, this guy, I think he's got it.
How much value? How much is he?
65.
65.
Yeah.
65.
But again, with the U.S. Open, is you can take flyers on these guys.
You definitely can.
You know, if they could, it's the U.S. Open. It's like one of the few tournaments that this happens in where just a random dude just gets hot for 2 days, finds himself making the cut, has a decent third round, and then all of a sudden he's a top 20. And you spent $6,000 on him. You're gonna, you get your return. Then you spend that and make it into, okay, I'll put Rory and Rahm in the same lineup or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, the U.S. Open, right? He can go out there and shoot a couple over and not be done.
Exactly.
You go to the Masters, you go to the British, depending on conditions, even the PGA most years. You shoot 2 over the first day, you're got to go out and go low to make the cut the next day.
There,
it gives them a little more. It's like less of a. I don't want to say it lowers expectations or whatever because the golf is so hard to even do that. But you don't freak out when you make a bogey and you don't feel like you need to make 7 birdies just to be in the mix, right? It's just a different mindset that you can. Some of the lower tier guys, if they're grittier, right? Like if they have the right mindset for it, they can go out there and ham and egg it and find a way to keep it 74 instead of shooting 78. And then you can get a guy at 6,500 makes a cut for you in your DFS. It's a different animal with U.S. Open.
We have a guy in this field whose name is Guido. Look at this guy. If you could see it on there, Guido.
What is that hair?
Oh, boy.
I don't know. The hair looks like shit. It looks like almost Tommy Pickles. Oh, God.
Pickles.
Yeah. Guido Migliosi.
I love it.
6,800. 8 of 11 cuts. This guy, talk about ceiling and then just awful. Second place in the British Masters, got cut into the Corn Islands, T33, T15 cut, T12, T2 at the Qatar Masters. This guy's either stud or dud. I don't know who he is. He's Italian, but maybe that's a guy throwing my Pendrith.
He's a home countryman.
Yeah.
Fontaine's a home countryman. We might have to sprinkle some in there. But yeah, and I was thinking, to comment on Torrey Pines briefly as well, I feel like this course gets used a lot. So flyer kind of guys, I feel like this isn't like an Augusta where I feel like Torrey Pines gets a lot of these guys. There's so many, like Paul mentioned, Charlie Hoffman has played this course probably more times than all of us have ever played golf combined. So it's these guys have a ton of experience on this course. And I think that definitely plays a factor. But my value guy and I think you guys are going to like this one, but at 6,900, nice, is my boy Kiz Daddy. Love him on Poana. Okay, we did it right.
There you go.
Poana. Listen to my number on Kiz. Since 2015, Kiz has made 74.5% of putts on Poana greens from 4 to 8 feet, the second best percentage of any player on tour. Okay, Kiz is also second best from 5 to 10 at 62.5%. and ranks 12th in strokes gained putting in that span on Poana greens. You can sign me up for Kevin Kisner at 6,900. Okay, that's another guy. I know he's played this course how many times, right? Farmers Insurance, U.S. Open, obviously, I don't know if he was playing in 08 or whatever, but played the Farmers Insurance every year. They've seen this track, right? And I'll take a guy who can putt his ass off on these greens. So under 7,000 for a Kevin Kisner who I've seen at 8,500 in majors before, I'll take a steal at Kevin Kisner at 6,900.
Yeah, I like that. Guy rolled with for sure.
I don't know how I feel about that because you hear him talk sometimes, and he counts himself out of U.S. Opens just because how long they are. He's like, I can't, like winged foot. He was saying like months before.
That's true.
The U.S. Open that he was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not gonna win here. Are you kidding me? It's way too long, like that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Maybe he's just saying that because it's Kevin Kisner and he can say whatever the hell he wants.
He takes the pressure off himself.
And he says whatever the hell he wants to all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just his motivation going into it, I just don't. I don't know. It is the U.S. Open, but mental state of like already.
I think he went into Winged Foot knowing it was going to kick his ass. So
I honestly I don't know if he's played at Torrey Pines much because it already is naturally a long course, and if you look at the courses he plays, he avoids the super long courses.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, what do you guys think about Rory this week? I'm on Rory's side. I think especially when he's 9,900 and he kind of peaks at times that we don't really think about him. I wonder if this is time he steps it up. I don't know.
He's played well here too. I mean, he's played well everywhere.
And he's under 10K. So
and that's where I see the value in that. That's spot on. 9,900 is it's incredible. It's a steal. I almost think at time like if he's under 9,900, there's something going wrong, right? You try to find that week that he's down. I feel like this is a week he's down. He should be in the tens.
By the dip. By the dip. I mean, I love Rory. He's going to have to find a way to hit fairways this week. He's not going to win if he's hacking out all week, which is why a guy like Brooks, too, he's probably decently up there. I don't know about Brooks this week. He's playing like that rough's not going to be easy on his knee if he's gouging it out of there every 4 or 5 holes. Don't get me wrong, these are both two individuals that, they've been off. And I know Brooks played last week, but they've been off after the PGA and working on their games, and they find one thing and they could shove it to me really quickly and easily win this thing. But it's tough with the trends going in. I don't love them, but they're also very talented individuals that could tell me to fuck right off and win by 5. But I would not. I'm fading Brooks this week, and I'm more on the buy side of Rory just because the 9,900 is crazy for him. He hasn't seen that in years, but
literally,
that's not going to be my most expensive lineup. I'll put it that way.
I
got Sprinkle just to have some Rory exposure, just because I love rooting for him, but I'm not all the way in on Rory.
Also, Prev, 9,700. JT, when was the last time he was below 10 grand?
He's got demons with the putter right now.
Yeah,
which all the bullet stuff we're talking about.
Yeah,
it might be again another guy. When we're talking about these few, we're talking about literally guys that have been number 1 in the world in the last 3 years. All of them have been at one point or another. So it's they are all very well could tell us to fuck off. I agree with that too. JT, he's struggling in the wrong way, right? There's certain ways that you can right the wrong or kind of battle it, but struggling with the putter, especially as well as he hits the ball, and then going to a place like this, like we've been talking about for the last 15 minutes here, is you got to putt well here, and if he's trying to find something with the putter and then he takes a couple bad bounces off the POA, that's going to blow him up mentally, right? That's just he's already on edge with it, from a patience perspective.
And we were talking about trying to catch him on an upswing, and we were like, okay, if we see a good performance at the Memorial, I'm going to be all over him US Open, and we didn't get that. You know what I mean? We got, for 9,700, I need more than T42. I need more than that. Yeah. T42 is what I want from Kevin Kisner this week. Yeah. That's what I want. Give me T42. Give me all 4 rounds, and I'll take it. I'll take you to the bank, and that's great. Yeah. He's going to get me points, going to make me birdies. But if you're paying 9,700 for a guy who finishes T42, you're in goodbye money. That's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think there are better names in that range. You Tarakawa, they're playing much better and they're cheaper. Why not? We're gonna save a couple hundred here. That could be the difference of who you get to pick on the value side on the back end. Which makes a difference, right? So Even Vic, Vic, Cantley, Reed, basically the 5 guys below JT. I like all 5 of them more than I like Justin this week, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So that's kind of where I'm at. We're just not seeing the golf we want from Justin yet. Then again, like Fontaine said, he might do it. So just remember what he did. Remember what he did with the Pink Panther pants at the U.S. Open. I mean, you can get that anytime.
Yeah,
anytime.
3 with 3 with Eagle. I mean, come on.
He's the J.R. Smith. I feel he's got that ultimate microwave, and just you can't miss with him.
Yeah,
he's just drilling
it
2 feet every time. Just happens.
If he puts the microwave on reheat, it's over. So we'll see.
Just doesn't know where to hit that reheat button. That's about it right now. But
all right, let's fly through our lineups here to wrap this up, and we got a lot of golf content, both ourselves and the professionals coming this week. So we got to rest up. We got a long week ahead, but let's rip through some lineups real quick. I know Prev, you kind of talked about yours, but I'll rip through mine DFS right now. Bezadenhout, what I love, 7,200. I got Big T this week, glutton for punishment, but 8,900. I don't need him to win. I just need him to do his usual backdoor top 10 action for me. Vic is actually one of my more expensive guys. I think I might be wrong, but I think he won his USAM here. Was that Torrey when he won back in 2017, right before he went pro? Then obviously played really well. Whatever. Sure. But I just think he's been playing so solid all year. I think he's just he played really well here back in early spring or whatever when they had the tournament back in March, I want to say. He played really well. So I'm going to ride with that. I don't know. I love Victor this week. Big leash, talked about him. Good history here. 7,400 too. It's perfect price, I think. I'm going with Justin Rose. He's a little higher than I wanted him, but he's also won here, and he has been trending a little bit lately. That Masters.
I was going to say that, yeah.
He's been putting really well, and he's played well here. He hits a fade. 8,000 scares me a little bit. It's probably 100 or 200 more than I would have liked it to be at. But it fit because I went Xander with my last one. So I didn't go overly expensive at the top. At 92, 9,300, my 2 top guys, I didn't go in the 10s or too close to them. But I think I needed it just to get that value of Finau, Rose, Leash being in the middle pack of my lineup. So I went kind of in that mid 7,200, 9,300 range. I kind of shrunk the gap. I didn't go too high. I didn't go too low this week.
Balanced approach, baby. I love it.
Yeah, I went balanced this week for sure. What do Paul, what do you got this week cooking?
So I know the 3 names I mentioned earlier, Schauffele, Finau, Scheffler, they're in my lineup. They've all been playing well and good drivers of the golf ball, and they're creative, I guess, is a word that's always going to be used around the U.S. Open.
Yep.
Then I'm going to go, again, 2 names that I mentioned before too, Oosthuizen and Hoffman. And I'm going to round it out with Cam Smith.
I was just looking at Cam Smith.
Yeah.
God, I was just about to ask you about Cam Smith.
I think he's actually played.
All reads my mind.
I think he's played a lot of U.S. Opens pretty well. But he seems to always rise to the occasion at tough golf courses. He's just, again, one of those grinders that.
Yeah.
He burned me at the Memorial. I think, yeah, he was at the Memorial. Burned me there. That's why I got a sour taste in my mouth. Maybe I should get that out. Because my mindset was he was gonna tear up a tough golf course. I even said it. I overlooked him. I don't even think I saw him on the list today. I think it just went right over his name. And maybe I should go back and look at that. I don't know.
He's tough in the fact that he doesn't win a ton. I know he won the Zurich thing, which is a partner with a leash, but he doesn't win a bunch, and it's but he's always kind of lingering and around. So it's very hard to find when he's high and when he's not, because he always finishes between 7th and 25th, kind of no matter what. Yeah. So did he play well and grind that out, or is it falling apart? Which way is it going? It's kind of tough to
yeah. I think he's won 3 times on tour. They were all in playoffs. 2 were at the Zurich, the team event. Then the other one was at the Sony Open or something like that, Hawaii, which is that even a legitimate PGA Tour event? I don't know.
Beat Brendan Steele in a playoff.
But then again, that Masters performance, I'll always look back at that. I mean, he's going shot for shot with Dustin motherfucking Johnson. You know what I mean? This is right now on tour, there is no one more intimidating when they got it going than Dustin Johnson. There just is.
Yeah.
Like, say what you want about Brooks, I don't care. But like, you know, it is Dustin Johnson is the guy, and like when he did that, that's in his bag. And 8,000 is low. Once again, Cam Smith, I think, has been really solid over the last, year and a half. So good place to look. Don't hate it. I'll go through mine real quick. This is the one I think is outstanding. I love it so much. I'll probably lose. Xander, Patty Reed, D. Berger, Louie, Big Shane, and Jason K. Baby, love Jason K. Been hitting the piss out of it. Been putting pretty well too this year.
It. Crazy.
Big win a couple years ago. We talked about that boy stripes it. I love watching him hit the ball. That was fun. When Memorial Day weekend just got absolutely destroyed by weather. It was a pleasure to watch Jason Kokrak hit the ball. But that's what I'm going with this week. That's my favorite team so far.
Love that.
Yeah, I'll jump in next. So I got John Rahm. I got Rory at 9,900. Shane Lowry at 76. Bezaden.
Oh, that's right.
Ryan Palmer at I think it was 7,100.
Ooh.
And Ian Poulter. I know you raised your eyebrows there with Ryan Palmer, but Ryan Palmer was 14 of 16 cuts made.
No, I like Ryan Palmer.
I love Ryan Palmer. He's got like 3 runner-ups here.
Yeah, he also is a guy who didn't play well in Texas. I think that's going to fuel him to do better coming up this week. Watch out for Ryan Palmer, Ian Poulter. I don't need to explain it further than what I said before. He's trending, so that's my lineup. $0 remaining.
Ryan Palmer's a guy I forgot to mention and look for, but he's one of those guys that if you look, again, track record at the Farmers Insurance, it's really, really strong. For a guy that doesn't necessarily fit kind of the other stuff we talked about here, but just likes a golf course. So, I mean, what else do you need to know? He plays well here. That's all you need.
Yeah.
I love it.
I want a guy that
make
the cut, get me to Sunday, and then figure it out from there.
Been on tour forever. He definitely has some history here. Been playing good golf, and that's disgustingly cheap. That's a great look, TJ. I just put him in with DJ as you said.
This is why we do it. Right? We bounce ideas off each other. Hopefully, create the ultimate lineup from what we've had said tonight. And we want you to make some money. Paul, round us out, bud. What do you got?
Already said mine, but yeah.
Did you? All right.
Come on. Yeah. But no. To your point though, hopefully within all the picks we just made, somebody finds some free money and enjoy the U.S. Open, fellas. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.